This is Frank. He runs the sustainable camping supply business. He's smiling because FedEx is growing its fleet of electric vehicles. And these are the Camper Scouts.
Hello, everybody. Lummy here, fresh out of the dentist, Tampa traffic, fighting to get here today. Thanks for everyone that text Brandon the Quad, Purple Jersey, and Brian for checking up on me. Brian is not going to be able to be here today. That's true, Eat More Kosovo. It's going to be about 35, 40 minutes. I tried my best. 813-90-BUBBA. 813-90-BUBBA. Thank you, Roger Dawson. I'm checking the YouTube. What's up, Tuttle? On the Facebook, and then they told me an hour and a half. An hour and a half was all it was going to take. The longest it was going to take. And it turned out being 3 hours and 30 minutes. 813.
Hey, man, it's Tampa Terry. How you doing?
Hey, Tampa Terry, how's it going? And,
it's going up.
And it turned out. Oh, there you go. What's up, Tampa Terry?
Can you hear me, brother?
Oh, of course. You're a crystal clear phone line calling all the way from beautiful Tampa, Florida.
Yes, sir. How's it going? I just want to say that this show is nothing without the babyface. He is absolutely the best. He's beaten me on every time I've called in and taken him on. I think it's 3 times now, brother. And I would just like, next time get your stuff together with the dentist better so he can be on.
Oh, 100%. I feel horrible for Brian. When you tell the lady, how long is this going to be? Hour and a half the top. Sorry, can you let me know at 3 o'clock? I do got to be down in Tampa by 4. Oh, it's no problem. And then, we're sitting here now. And
well, hey, brother, hold on one second. Somebody's here and they want to say hi to you. You got a quick second?
Of course.
Hey, Lummy, how's it going, man?
Hey, it's Babyface. You're hanging out with Tampa Terry now.
Yeah, all the time.
Awesome. Did you get your jersey from him, too? I know you guys probably wearing jerseys, doing high fives.
Yeah, brother, I got a 420-69 jersey with Babyface's name on it.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm sure you guys are watching reruns of the USFL right now, too.
Always, brother. Hold on, I'll put Babyface back on. Hey, man. Yeah, Tampa Terry's kind of a loser, but he's okay to hang out with.
Well, that sounds like that's really
yeah, I
nice
didn't know he was
say.
up for giving handies, though, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, so that's why you went over there to hang out?
I mean, why not?
There you go.
Hands aren't sexual organs.
Not at all. He was just giving you a hand.
Yeah. So your cavity, Phil, took that long for just a little rinky-dink cavity?
They put a temporary crown on it.
Oh, that doesn't sound like a rinky-dink cavity, my friend.
Sure doesn't.
Sounds like a root canal's in your future.
No, hopefully not. Let's hope that crown they put on next week, because the permanent crown does the wonders for it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's dental troubles. Here's the thing. I don't trust dentists. Did you go to Dr. McSherry?
No, I did not. I have a dentist up in the Lutz area that I went to.
Yeah. Is this your dentist for like a long time? Do you trust this person? Because I don't trust dentists. This is the deal. Like, my wife is really scared of them, so she'll go to a dentist and they'll tell her one thing, and she's got good teeth, takes good care of her teeth, and then she'll go to another dentist and they will tell her the exact opposite of what the other dentist said. And then she goes to a third dentist, like a year, 6 months later, and they're like, oh no, you need to have this and this and this and this deep cleaning and this, and they're all fucking workers.
So you're
man.
Saying that they're kind of like mechanics. Some
they're
mechanics,
like
dealership mechanics.
I put them right in the same category as veterinarians and mechanics. Yes.
That's one thing that I think you and Dr. Dan agree on.
What's that?
That dentists are crooks, or they're not really doctors either.
No, they're not doctor. Wait, haven't you seen the movie The Hangover?
Exactly, yes.
It's the same thing, paging doctors. You know
yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's absolute total con art. If you go to a dentist, right, and they tell you need this, this, and this, and it's going to be $3,000. If you don't go for a second or third opinion, you're out of your mind. And don't even, when you're going for that second opinion, don't tell that dentist what the other dentist has told you. Wait to see what that dentist says that you need to have done. Well, I guarantee you they won't repeat anything that the other one said.
Well, I knew this because this was my second opinion one.
Okay.
Yeah, and I knew because you could kind of like where I cracked my tooth in the back, and my filling popped out. So, like, I knew. Is this
why you were almost dying and choking to death on a potato chip? Did it also crack your tooth?
Yeah, the potato chip actually cracked my tooth, and I swallowed that, which probably when it came back up, that's probably what cut it. That's the tooth did.
The cracked tooth.
Yes, exactly. We just figured it all out. Thank you, Brian, for letting me, helping me with that.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem. That's why I'm here for you, buddy.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I just wasn't going to come in to do, 30 minutes a show. So when I found out you weren't going to make it in and you're going to be super late, that's why I was just like, look, man, can't do it today.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate my wife for texting you because I did not know what time it was when I looked at my phone. And I looked at it, it said 3:47. I go, holy shit. I've been in the chair since 1.
She reached out to me and she's like, I don't think Lummy's going to make it in time. Has he reached out to you? And I'm like, no, of course not. So I reached out to you. But a few things I want to touch upon with you. Did you see the Dolphins tweet out the
that
video
great throw?
Of Tua's dead duck to
what do you mean?
Tyreek Hill?
That was an amazing throw. You didn't think that was a nice tight spiral? Tyreek had to speed it up just to get underneath that bomb that he threw, like 50, 60, 70 yards.
It looked like Tyreek was fielding a punt heading the other way. It was really bad. I mean, here's the thing. If you're the Dolphins, why are you tweeting that out? Like, you can't get that was the only pass he threw to him and completed all day. You can't get a better one. You've already got a knock against this kid that he can't throw the long ball well. And then you're going to show him underthrowing Tyreek. I mean, his opponent was the atmosphere. It was air. He was throwing against air, and he couldn't even get the ball to Tyreek on the fly.
Listen, it was practice, and maybe the Dolphins have this feeling if they release bad tape on him that everyone's going to be down on him in the defense, and he's going to come out looking like a complete superstar.
So you think they're hustling the league with that?
Yes, that was exactly.
Somehow intentional?
As a Miami Dolphin fan, I'm sure they would agree that they're just putting it out there. He probably hit him without on camera, probably like an 80-yard bomb on the run. Perfect spiral. He could probably throw it in a trash can from 100 yards away. That's how accurate he is.
Yeah, they've done a good job the last 2 seasons keeping his accuracy and his big arm under wraps. Well, because I think that's the best kept secret in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I think so too. But Kurt Warner did come out today and he did defend Tua. He said, he used to throw a lot of underthrown balls in practice too. So.
Yeah, but did your team highlight it on social media as this great thing?
No, probably not. They probably didn't have any of those out and about. But, I mean, look, the Dolphins are all in with Tua, and I think Tyreek Hill probably will be hating his life by week 2.
I heard they're all Finn. I think Tyreek should be hating his life now. I mean, there's so many better fits that would have been out there for him. Hell, playing with Jameis in New Orleans would have been a better fit. I know they didn't have the money or the capital to get him, but
at least Jameis. Actually, that's probably one of the only wide receivers that Jameis couldn't overthrow.
Yeah.
Because, if you could overthrow Deshaun Jackson when he was here.
Deshaun Jackson. God, what a pathetic receiver he is.
Listen, he was a superstar when he had Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, he was a decade ago.
No,
when he was a decade ago.
Yeah, well, I didn't draft him in my fantasy team, okay? But he looks pretty good when Ryan, but Jameis doesn't make too many wide receivers look good, so.
Yeah, remember when I was having that argument with Tyler over
Yeah, exactly. I think he drafted him in the 6th round.
You want a guy who can't make it to halftime to be on your fantasy team.
And he can't, pretty much.
Let the record show I'm not a no-show. There was no show, okay? Lummy decided to
I left all my stuff
on
here.
this. Lummy decided to babyface on this and show up 45, 50 minutes late, and that's what happened. Well, but it's not his fault. I'm not blaming Lummy for this. I'm just saying that we had agreed that there wouldn't be a show, and he hopped on to do the show.
Well, when I got in my truck and I realized that all my computer and everything I need to edit for stuff for tomorrow is here, kind of need to make it back here to get all that stuff.
Yeah, so you might as well jump on and give the people a half hour. And so anything else you wanted to discuss?
Well, I want to know what your thoughts on the Lightning, too. Obviously,
so
you probably
disappointing.
Yeah, last night's 2-0. I'm thinking, okay, they're going to come back. We're going to clinch it. We're good.
Yeah, they had it. I mean, they're up 2-0 after the first period. They had the momentum early, and that second period was just atrocious, and it let Toronto get back in it. They didn't put them away, and now they're up against it. Now, I believe in this team. I know they have the ability to come back, but I don't. Even if they win this series, they're not winning the Stanley Cup this year. They don't have it. They look tired.
Yep.
They look in the third. They've been outplayed pretty much, with the exception of Game 3. They've been outplayed in every single third period, and you can't win in the NHL doing that. Not unless you have a 5-0 lead going into the third. So
they give up 2. They gave up 3 that game, didn't they? The one 5. Didn't it? Wasn't the end of that score 5-3?
Game 5. They gave up 3. And look, when you're up 5-0, you're not playing the same way. But with the exception of Game 3, they have been outplayed in the third period of every single game so far. So it's 4 out of 5 times they've been outplayed. Toronto looks younger and fresher. And the Lightning have had, this three-peat, if they were able to pull it off, would be the greatest three-peat in the history of all professional sports because of the way it was so truncated. They didn't have normal off seasons. They didn't have normal time to prepare. The schedule's been thrown into into chaos, and so the sheer number of games the Lightning have played over the past 2 seasons, now 3, is just astounding. I mean, they've played so many more minutes than everybody else, and it's the fatigue started to show up in March. And they turned it on in April because they were in danger of slipping, but you see it again now, and they just look tired and done to me.
Charlie Mitchell, $5 super chat. Well, didn't it look like in the third period too that they kind of started playing like kind of on their back? You know, they kind of were playing pussy, like they weren't being aggressive. They were kind of just playing all they didn't want to lose that the tie. You know, they weren't going out there. Maybe that's because they were tired, right? Is that what you're saying? Because they just didn't look. They didn't look right.
They're on their heels in the third period of every single. Look, if it was just last night, I wouldn't have this level of concern. But it's been every single game except Game 3. They have been outplayed in the third period, and so this is a disturbing trend that they cannot. And to top it off, Vassy has been subpar. That fourth goal that he allowed was he has to save that shot. He has to.
That's just he's tired.
It wasn't a deflection. There was no traffic in front of him. He looks tired. They're all tired.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not faulting them. I'm not angry at the Lightning. This was my biggest fear. I still think from a pure talent perspective, they are one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the league this season, and from a championship mindset perspective, but they're exhausted.
There's no way, just from watching even like the Pens, there's no way that they, like you said, even if they make it past the Maple Leafs, which is going to be tough, next series is going to be tough. And then if they have to, I think the Pens are going to be there, and I don't think they beat the Pens, even with their third string goalie.
You think the Pens are making it to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know who's actually going to get out, if it's going to be Florida or not. I think Florida has a good chance. I'm saying if the Lightning were to get to that point of the Eastern Conference Championship, I think the Pens beat them.
I mean, it could be the Pens or it could be Carolina. If Frederik Andersen comes back, Carolina will beat the Pens in a series. I think that they're a better team than Pittsburgh. I know Pittsburgh has a lot of talent, and I know you have every reason to be cheering for Pittsburgh because happy wife, happy life. I get that. But,
and I'm watching those games too, so I'm kind of seeing how they're playing.
Come on, man, New York, the Rangers,
awful.
They are awful, and they were a team that was built around playing tougher than everybody in the regular season, and it served them well. But they completely overachieved in the regular season. Their goaltending's come back down to earth, and they don't have enough offense to win. Now, I would not put as much stock into that series and the results thus far to say that the Pens are somehow now a favorite to win, to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I still think that Carolina is a better overall squad. They're a more complete team, and they're younger. And so, we'll see. It's the NHL, so anything's possible.
Oh, yeah.
Eight seeds can make it to the finals, unlike the bullshit, boring NBA. But yeah, I mean, I would still put my money on Carolina to come out on that side of things.
No, I mean, we'll see. Hopefully the Avs pretty much get their ass kicked.
The Avs?
Yeah, I've heard from a couple different people that they're favored right now to win the whole thing.
Of course they are. They have the best team. I mean, their offense is next level. Cole Maker, however you say his name, is the young defenseman is just playing insane hockey. I mean, it would be like if Vassy was scoring, an extra 20 goals a season and still playing at the same level that he's currently playing at. That's how this kid's playing. He's exceptional. And they're going to be I don't see anybody in the West beating them. I think they'll get over the hump this year, and this will be the year that they at least make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. I think they've got to be the odds-on favorite to raise the cup at this point.
See, I don't want that because Hall of Famer Grouper Lips, he talks a lot of shit, and I like it when they lose because he thinks they should have been winning the Stanley Cup, I believe, for like the last 4 years. So,
well, not 4 years. No, you've got to here's the thing people don't get in hockey.
And don't forget, hold on, Brian, with Hall of Famer Grouper Lips, he's been living in Georgia for a very long time now, and he's still a Colorado fan. So, I mean, we are against that too.
Now, I will say this. When the Thrashers were in Georgia, he had a responsibility to switch teams. However, the state of Georgia does not have a hockey team. The closest teams are the Lightning and the Panthers. I mean, not the Panthers, the Lightning and the Canes. And so he does not have an obligation at that point to switch teams because Atlanta doesn't have one. Now, if he was there while the Thrashers were there,
he was.
Then he should have been cheering for them.
Exactly.
I mean, this isn't my opinion. These are facts.
These are facts, and they come from Brian, babyface, Joni, lawyer to the stars.
Oh, he's saying you're lying about that the Avs should have won the cup. No, you got to learn. What I was saying before we got this, you've got in the NHL, it's so weird because it's like teams need to learn how to win in the playoffs. In the NFL, we can see a team like the Rams and a guy who never won in the playoffs as the starting quarterback, go all the way through, win the Super Bowl first shot, right?
Yep.
In the NHL, it's almost like you have to take your lumps. I mean, there was 2010, the Washington Capitals win the President's Trophy, have the most dominant team in hockey. They get bounced in the first round.
Well, same with the Lightning a couple years ago.
Same with the Lightning.
Yep.
They have the most dominant team. They get bounced in the first round. And it's because playoff hockey is like a different sport than regular season hockey, and knowing what it takes to win and how to right the ship in the playoffs is just something totally different. The Avs have not shown the ability to do that yet. If they can win their next series, though, I think that they're ready to make their move.
I mean, I guess we'll see. I'm just, I just hope they lose. I really want it to be the Lightning, but the way, like you said, they're just tired. It's almost like they just take this year off. Hopefully, everyone comes back and, we can repeat.
The worst thing for the Lightning would be to somehow make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and like Game 7 or even to the Stanley Cup Finals and lose, because then next year is shot, right?
Oh, yeah.
Those legs are dying. And Kucherov still frustrates me too, because if you watch him, he takes plays off.
I was going to say he looks lazy. Yeah, he looks lazy on it. Yeah.
He is lazy. Like I watched him the other night, and the play, he got the puck deep in the zone and turned it over. It was the end of his shift, and he just is nonchalantly like strolling back to the bench. No sense of urgency at all as the play is going down the other way into the Lightning end. And that drives me nuts. Like, when you've got glue guys like Sorelli and Palat and these guys that just don't take shifts off and go out there and play, even Ross Colton has shown that element to his game. And then you see somebody with all the skill in the world like Kucherov just, lollygagging on down. It's very maddening.
Well, and you got Hedman. I think Hedman plays the most minutes out of everybody, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's averaging probably 25 minutes a game at this point.
And that guy, he doesn't look like he's slowing down or taking anything off either.
No, I mean, you have to be smart about it. Look, I'm not saying you kill yourself when there's no point to do so, but Cooch should be fresher than the other guys on his team at this point. He missed time at the beginning of this season. He missed all of the regular season last year. So I don't want to hear he's saving his legs. Saving his legs for what?
The offseason.
Because that's what he's facing is he's going to have about 3 or 4 months off here in a hot minute.
Exactly.
So no, I don't like that. I don't buy that. That's not an excuse that I would bestow upon him at this point.
I agree with you, Brian.
Good. I'm glad we're in agreement.
Brian, we're always in agreement. And when we're not, we're close to being in agreement.
How about the Rays getting no hit last night?
Yeah, that was pretty sad waking up. I felt pretty good. What their pitcher, the guy we got, he had 2 good outings recently. I feel like he was turning around. Yeah. Remember we talked about how I think he had his highest strikeouts, and it was like 7. And he was looking good. 8 runs in 3 innings. And then the Rays bats just shut down.
The Angels are a legit team. What this shows me is that the Rays, as they're currently constructed, are not a playoff team. They're definitely not they may be a borderline, second wild card team, but they are not a win and go make a deep run into the playoff team. Now, the caveat to that being that they have arms that should hopefully be coming back here soon that will help them, but they have too much inconsistency. Too many nights where the bats completely disappear. Yep. They haven't lost a game this season where they've scored at least 5 runs. They've got that going for them, so that's kind of the threshold. But you look at the way they've lost the last 3 games. That one, blowing a lead in the 8th to the Mariners, and then just getting absolutely shellacked, outscored 23-3 with a no-hitter mixed in against the Angels.
By a rookie. But you know what I can't say? It happens every time, it seems like, with the Rays or even the Bucks.
A rookie that struck out 2 batters. That's got to be the record for the least amount of batters struck out in a no-hitter, right?
Yeah, he only had 1 walk, too.
Yeah, 1 walk, 1 error. And Kiermaier erased the walk, I think, or the error by grounding into a double play.
Of course, it's Kiermaier.
The bailout swing Kevin Kiermaier way that he does. But 2 strikeouts, and you're going to get no hit?
Yep.
I mean, it's not like this guy was out there throwing unhittable gas that they were making contact. They just couldn't put the ball into play.
The guy's not Greg Maddux.
No, this isn't a guy that's out. I mean, he's in his 10th start of his career. This isn't a guy that you get no hit by.
But it feels like
a guy that
doesn't feel like the Rays always have trouble against a first-time pitcher or like a rookie pitcher, just the same way the Bucks have problems usually against like a first-time starting quarterback. I mean, I don't get it. Like the Rays have been no hit, I believe, by a rookie 2 times, 2 or 3 times.
This guy's made 11 starts in Major League Baseball. He's 3-4. This is after last night's game factored in too, with a 5.23 ERA and a 1.22 WHIP. Now he's a little better this year than he was last year, but still 39 strikeouts versus 19 walks. This guy walks a lot of hitters, and the Rays could only muster 2.
Yeah, the problem with the Rays too is
2 base runners. The whole it's awful.
I feel the Rays, because his pitch count was pretty low too, I believe
108.
Yeah, they were. I think the Rays were very eager, and they were swinging early on instead of just letting it build. It's almost like they didn't even do a pitching report on him. Because if you see what you just said, you're going to take a lot of pitches. You're going to get to that 1-2, 2-2 count. You know what I mean? And then try to keep it close.
Make him beat you. You don't go out there and let him off the hook the way they did, which they absolutely did.
Unless this guy was throwing matzo balls down the plate, and then they just couldn't, like you said, they couldn't find anywhere to put it. But I mean, I think that this West Coast trip is really fucking with them.
Yeah, it's It's not ideal.
No.
Not ideal, I'll tell you that. Not ideal. They were doing fine up until the last 3 games. Blowing the game to the Mariners hurt. I can live with dropping 2 out of 3, potentially against the Angels. That's fine. But the way they're, pitching's getting shelled, and they're not hitting the ball right now is a concern. And this isn't the first time this season that their bats have completely disappeared for an extended period of time.
Did it early in April.
When they suffered a losing streak earlier this season, and it was pretty awful too. But they're at 4 runs in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
That's a troubling sign that the offense is, and getting no hit by a kid who has no business no hitting anybody. I will say this very confidently: Reed Detmers gets no other no hitters in his Major League Baseball career.
No, but just like Dallas Brandon when he did it against us.
You mean Braden?
Braden, whatever his name was. Well, that was close enough, but yeah, that was a joke on Mother's Day.
Yeah, no, the Rays just have too many stretches where the offense just fails them. But this is clearly their worst 3-game stretch of the season. I mean, 4 runs in 3 games and not looking good. So hopefully they can turn it around. But all right, buddy, I'm going to let you talk to some other people. I'm sorry to everybody. I'm sorry Lummy's appointment ran long and I couldn't make it. There's me as an elf with a mask on. That's a good change of pace there.
Yeah.
But everybody stay safe, and we'll see you next week. I'll be back.
Sounds good. Thank you, man.
As long as you don't go to the dentist forever.
I try not to.
All right, let me take it easy.
See you, Brian. That was Brian, babyface. At least he called in. Appreciate that. I like his pictures. Thank you, Blitz. Looks like a big time show here. Switching up pictures as we go. 813-90-BUBBA. I saw a couple of people calling in. Call back. Brian wanted to talk about everything going on. I was going to ask him what he was thinking of the Mets too. The Mets are looking good. If anyone's kind of been watching a little bit of baseball, I know it's still May. Baseball is not on everyone's radar. Usually it happens in the summer, but the Mets, it's past April, and they are still in first place. 727.
Hey, Lummy, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. Yeah, man, I was literally calling in. It's Carl, by the way, but I was calling in. I was going to say, I want to talk a little bit of Tua talk about that video that he posted with Tyreek, and then when my phone cut out when I was passing the airport, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're already talking about it. But
come on, you as a Dolphins fan that you are, how excited are you with that throw?
I'm not. I'm the most diehard Dolphins fan, but I'll tell you what, boy, I could do that when we're at the beach playing football. That looked like a bucket pass. I'm not happy with it. Dolphins, I like the Dolphins media trying to show that, they're trying to build them up, and I want to believe in them, and I'm trying my best. But first of all, that throw was a fluffer nutter. That thing was wobbling, and then it was underthrown.
Well, you kind of forgot there was high winds today in Miami. So I can totally see where that could have flopped, and maybe the wind was going against them, and Tyreek had to slow down a lot to be able to catch up to that. I thought the camera angle was kind of funny how it didn't really show you how much he had to stop either. And you think they would have put the distance on it?
Yeah, it didn't really show you the yardage. It just showed you him squaring up to throw it, and then he throws the ball, and then you see the ball kind of wobble through the air, and then you see him kind of grab it. I would have liked to see a panned out, video of it.
Well, and they easily have all practices are cameraed up. That guy could have been way farther back and just got it so you could see the whole, even if you were sitting on the sidelines and you just kind of see it, you know what I mean? So there's some reason why they thought that was good, but it's getting a super backlash in the media since that was supposed to be their hype video.
I hear you. I just took you off of the car phone because I feel like for the listeners, give you a better connection. But
there were still times that Patrick Mahomes was struggling to make the passes to Tyreek.
Well, yeah, and something interesting that I saw was that apparently Tua was the deep ball thrower in college. I mean, he was known for that, and I can't necessarily, like, don't, quote me on it, but I saw, like, a post from, like, one of the,
Sorry, I'm watching it again real quick, and Tyreek's trying to put it over, but if he was the long, I'm trying to see if you can kind of even see how far it is too, but it doesn't look like you can.
Yeah, you can't even, sorry, I literally cheek dialed the mute button, but what I was saying was, literally, I just saw, like, a post, like, earlier today or last night or something saying that, like, Tua was literally, like, known for, like, the deep, like, he was a long guy for throwing in college in Alabama and stuff. And
are you sure it wasn't a joke website?
No, it was off Twitter. It was but it was like, there's all sorts of, like, Miami Dolphins, like the Finstones, Dolphin, Paid, but these guys put out, like, reputable articles and stuff, but as, like, a diehard Dolphins fan that is literally gone back and forth, like, hot and cold, bipolar with Tua, I'm trying my best, but when I saw that, I was kind of like,
it would have been the way they shot this video, they would have been better off with telling Tyreek to run 40% speed and acting like Tua overthrew Tyreek.
And then he had to, like, kind of, like, jog it out to get the rest. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I totally agree with you. I mean, Tua looks great. I mean, like, not trying to, like, I'm just saying, like, legs on point, looking swole, but, dude, and then I also have to comment on one more thing, and love you, Lum, but, so your girl is, like, a pretty diehard Penguins fan?
Yeah. Penguins,
yeah,
and
yeah. Yeah, I'm a big time New York Rangers fan, and I love the Lightning. I root for, my girlfriend is a big Lightning fan. Rooted for them both Stanley Cups. But we went to the Rangers Lightning game before it went down to playoffs. I mean, the Rangers fans turned it up in that place.
Oh, but, no, 100%.
But I mean, come on, dude. I mean, they literally, I was so I actually had to turn it off, and I will stick through because in hockey anything can happen. But the other night,
7-2, right?
Yes, sir. And dude, when they literally, like, that arena and their fan base is hard freaking core, dude. Like, they are loud, they're live. I was sitting there, and I've literally watching the Lightning game and any other hockey game. I have it up, my volume up, dude. They literally, like, pump the sound up in that stadium. They're sitting there just trolling our goalie.
Yeah,
Igor. I mean, how embarrassing does it get? I mean, it was bad.
No, they got good fans.
Well,
loud fans.
Yeah, Penguins.
Yeah, Penguins.
Both sides do, but they were trolling our goalie.
Oh, yeah, I could hear that the whole time. I was in the kitchen, and we had the TV, and I could hear him. I asked her what they were saying because I could barely make it out, and she's like, "Oh, they're just trolling the goalie."
Yeah, Igor. But I mean, we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, in my opinion, let's not talk about stupid stuff. Let's get back to, like, actual sports talk here. But I honestly think that the Rangers, they're kind of small. I kind of peeped a few other teams throughout the season. Where we're at now, like Pengs, they're a little bit bigger. LA Kings, they got bigger dudes. I mean, it just kind of seems like we're a couple of little pipsqueaks on the Rangers team, and
yeah, you guys got to get a couple big. You got to get a couple big boys out there.
Yeah, I'm really trying. I'm really trying to hang in there, but I guess we're gonna have to see where it goes from there. But it's all in good fun. One of my best friends, he's a Penguins fan, so we chat back and forth while the game's going on. But,
Yeah, dude, they're looking pretty good, man. But
yeah, they are.
Home team advantage when you're at your stadium and it's that lively. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think
I agree. I mean, I went to the Penguins Lightning game this year. A lot of Penguin fans, and the Lightning just looked flat. Like right after, I think the Penguins went up 2-0, and the whole place just felt deflated. And then I believe they lost like 5-1 or something. It was just there's something to say when you got that energy in the stadium. I mean, we'll have to see what happens when the Penguins go back now up to New York. See if the Ranger fans can bring it.
Absolutely, and I'll leave you with this. When the Penguins were at the Lightning Stadium, how was the ratio to fans? Was there a slight higher percentage of Penguins fans to Lightning fans?
60-40. 60-40 Lightning.
Okay, cool.
But the Penguin fans are way louder.
Yeah, when I went to the Rangers Lightning game, bro, it legitimately felt like, I mean, like in all seriousness, there was, I mean, a hell of a lot more Rangers fans there.
Yeah, there's a lot of New York people down here now. Just look at anytime you're driving around on 75, I spot a New York license plate twice. Yeah, 2 to 3 times a day driving back and forth. So it's that's how it happens, man. But I appreciate it, Carl. Thank you, and hopefully I can see some more highlights from Tua and the Cheetah. I'm working real. I'm waiting. My mouth is still a little. And I'm feeling pretty good for my little thing I took before. And Jason Ryback with 1,000 stars. Thank you. And the 2 fan bases that I'd pick in a street brawl, I would have to say probably, even though I don't really like them, probably Philly. And shit. I don't know. Philly, I guess Boston. Philly and Boston are the 2 that you'd want to, for a street brawl in hockey. I don't really know how the Detroit fans work or if they fight or whatever. 813-90-BUBBA, 813-90-BUBBA. Obviously, big news was Tom Brady with his 10 years, $375 million. I think he's going to be good in the broadcast. I don't know if anyone watched when he was on with Peyton Manning, the Manning brothers. I thought he was pretty good. It looked like he was throwing back a couple Coronas, which I don't think he really drinks, but he seemed like he was real loose. But, I mean, what they say is Troy Aikman and Tony Romo throw back those Coronas. So I'm sure they're always, have a couple cocktails. That seems like a great little job. Have a couple cocktails, talk sport for 4 hours, fly back and forth. You got to work about 2 days. You got a little research done for you. It doesn't really seem like that would be too hard of a job, especially making $37 million. Mike Lettieri, LA beats, in the vegetables. I don't know. I've seen some of their fights. They seem like they fight dirty. All the ones in the baseball stadium, the football stadium, those are just douchebags looking to fight. But I was going to a 5:30, having to deal with the traffic. I think my Novocaine's wearing off. I can kind of feel this temporary, which freaking dentist told me they were going to put a permanent one in today. Now I got to go back next week to get the permanent one in when it comes in. It's pretty much me not wanting to ever have this done again. It's really annoying. I don't know how many people have crowns, but it wasn't as painful, but it was still pretty annoying that the Novocaine or whatever they gave me wore off. And I didn't get any of the gel that Bubba told me. He just went straight in with the shot, straight into the gums. And it was not the best feeling. And then I think it was about 2.5 hours into it or 2 hours into it. He asked if I could feel anything, and it felt like they were poking me in my nerve. So he gave me another shot. And that needle is pretty big. But I apologize for getting here late. That was not the plan. I scheduled my dentist appointment early enough that I could get here, even with the traffic. So I appreciate the people that did hang out and wait, and everyone that is, well, we had Brian the Babyface on earlier, Hot Carl. I think that's what Bubba calls him when he calls in, or if that's him. I don't know. I'm still feeling like a champ over here. And then I kind of now wish Brian, because I was only talking to him about the NIL. I don't know what you guys think of the NIL. The NIL, in my opinion, for college, is going to ruin college football. I guess now they're starting to investigate that technically you're not allowed to recruit. Donors or boosters cannot recruit players. I guess that's becoming a problem. I think it started with the USC wide receiver coming out of Pittsburgh. They were looking into it. I guess boosters promised them or offered them $70,000, but it doesn't really make sense as most boosters are owned businesses that they could just use them as a sponsor. I really don't like it either. I mean, just like the Baylor kid got transferred to USF. Yeah, that's good for USF. I know not many people that listen. I know Eat More Coleslaw. I saw him at the spring game of about 400 people there, but I don't like it. He was a starter last year. Baylor went 12-2. You know, he goes in the spring game. They name the other guy the starter. I know back in the day, what you do when they name the starter in spring, well, after spring ball's done, you go to the summer and you work your ass off and you get better and you beat them out in spring or training camp, you know, and then you beat them out. You get your position back if you're that good. You don't just, you know, pack your suitcase and transfer to whatever college might, you know, give you a better NIL deal or whatever it is. I don't like that at all. I don't like how all these players are just transferring after 1 year. Now, I might have felt totally different as I've transferred 5 times, but I had to sit out multiple years because of the transfer rules. But maybe I would feel differently, but I transferred just because I kept going back and forth between baseball and football. But yeah, I think the deal is a mess. Amateur sports are done. You are right, Jason Ryback. The transfer portal, I understood maybe the transfer portal during COVID, you know, when people were like, well, we want to move home, we don't want to be stuck here in college, yada yada. Okay, I'll give it to them because the NCAA did have rules like that. If you had a death in the family, your parents or someone in the family got sick and you wanted to be closer, then they would waive it. And then they started doing the 6-year senior for graduate, or if the different school had a program that you wanted to get into. But just being able, because you lost your starting position or you're not happy being second or third string and transferring, I don't think that's, I mean, I think that's just, it's bringing these players and guys up to just, you know, if they don't like something, they're just going to quit and go find something else. And I think that's what's happening nowadays in society. You know, you're not learning to just stick it out, stay there and get better. So I don't know. I know that's college football. Hopefully baseball here starts picking up. We got the summer coming. That's when the baseball kicks off. Hopefully the Lightning don't get their ass handed to them. Last call of the day, 561.
Hey, Lummy, is this where you calling to get tips on the crypto game?
Yeah, you want to call and get the crypto currency? Yeah, get out. Or if you haven't bought yet, buy them.
Get out or what? What should I do?
Well, I mean, if you listen to Kevin, which
where the fuck's Kevin at, man?
He's campaigning to be a congressman, but he says, look, if you don't sell it, then you're not taking a loss.
Out here.
Yeah, I know. So am I. So
he was my financial advisor. Now I got nothing.
Yeah, he dipped out. I'm sure he's going to say you should hold it, and I'm sure he'd say if you have more, you should probably buy more. That's my opinion on what people are saying.
Say, huh?
I mean, they are saying that it's so low. People are like, well, buy it in. It's going to spike in June. Okay, well, I heard that in April it was going to spike in May, too. And it just keeps going down.
Says that.
Exactly. So
what the fuck? I heard you say something the other day about June. Who said that?
Oh, there's
insider shit?
Well, no, I mean, if you just kind of Google it or Bing it, it kind of, that's what everyone's saying. They're saying that right now people are so nervous about the stock market going down that they're taking the money out of the stock market and putting it in a crypto. Or they're going to put it in a crypto. It's all a big game. It's all one big. It's a big scam anyhow. If you think about it, it's all just being played.
What isn't?
Well,
what isn't a fucking scam?
Exactly. I mean, you can look at all these different things and just say there's something shady going on with it. I mean,
all right.
So if you want to listen to Kevin's probably going to tell you to hold. I don't know. That's what he said before, but I mean, I don't see it completely tanking. I mean, but who knows? I mean, the stock market tanked in 2009, and that's what they're saying it could go back to. So I do have some stop limits on a couple of my stocks. So I just keep watching it, and if you haven't taken it too much on the chin, probably just hold tight.
Yeah. I don't have too much in, but, whatever. I want to get rich.
Yeah, so do I. All right, man.
All right.
See you, man.
How's it going?
Last call, I think it's Trackmate. 863? 863? Oh, shit. 863? FedEx, UPS? 863? Well, I think that's a perfect way to end. Sorry, everyone, for the short show. You can blame my dentist. Tell me an hour and a half. Not the fucking hour and a half. 2 hours and 40 minutes. I know I got to deal with this shit till next week. But I appreciate everyone staying here. Next week we'll be back on. Brian will be here. And we'll have a lot more, obviously, to talk about with what happened with the NHL. What's going on with baseball. I'm sure Hinstar will call in with some shitty basketball or tennis take. So don't forget, we are live tomorrow. Twitch.tv/The Bubba Army. 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Tune in. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you tomorrow. Oh, and don't forget to get your all your merchandise at Bubba Army Shop, BubbaArmyStore.com. Thanks, everyone. We will see you tomorrow. Pod 3. Some crappy AC/DC like stuff. I like AC/DC. I was saying that this world free stuff. See you, everyone.